Hey guys, in today's CP Life video, we're going to talk about the common questions kids ask about cerebral palsy. And the first question that I get a lot from kids is, number one, are you married? And the answer to that is, no, I am not. But one day, I would like to meet a special person and get married someday. But right now, I am single. And I am just living my best life being single. So that's the question number one. And number two is, kids love to ask, how do you get into bed? And the answer to that is, I have my parent or my sister or my brother or my brother's girlfriend help me get into bed. But what the cool part about this is, it's going to kind of change. I'm going to have a machine over my bed that'll help me transfer in and out of bed. So it can help my parents or my brother or my sister or my brother's girlfriend, whoever's taking care of me, help me transfer me into bed better and out of bed better. So it's easy on both me and whoever's taking care of me. Question number two is, do you sleep in your bed? And yes, I do sleep in a regular bed, just like you guys. And number three is, how do you get into your van? I get that question asked a lot. And the answer to that is, I have a special ramp on my van that helps me get in and out of my van. You push a button and it comes down, and I roll my chair on the lift, and then the lift lifts me up in my van and takes me wherever I want to go. So that is the answer to that question. And another question I get a lot is, do you live on your own? And the answer to that is, no, I do not. I live with my parents. I would like to, but someday, but that is kind of like complicated, because I want to find, before I ever move out somewhere one day, I want to find good people to take care of me, like my parents and like my sister, who care about me, and I want to find good caregivers. But right now, there's not many good caretakers out there right now, so I am just living my best life, and I'm living with my parents right now, and I'm very, very thankful for that, because number one, it's a lot cheaper than living on your own. And number four, do you have a job? Yes, I do. I have been working at my job for 11 years, and I'm very proud of that. I love what I do. I work with kids. It's the best thing ever. My job makes me feel good. I like making a difference in kids' lives and helping them work on homework or supervise a board game or something like that. And I just like leaving an impact on their life, and just like assisting them with whatever they need. I just love my kids so much. And number 6 is, will you ever be able to have children of your own one day? And yes, I will. I am just waiting on that. For now, I would love to have kids one day, but like I said, it's a lot of work, and if I were to have kids one day, I will probably hire my own staff to help me take care of my kids so it doesn't all fall on my husband. And so that is the answer to that, but I would love to have kids someday and get married someday. What is your favorite part about having a disability? My favorite part about having a disability is doing public speaking talks and going around to schools and different organizations and just sharing my story, because a lot of people don't really know much about like cerebral palsy, and I just love explaining what that is. And I just love speaking at different organizations, schools. When I was younger, I used to do Everybody Counts, and that is basically, I would just go around to different elementary schools and speak about my story and tell them like what happened to me when I was born. Yeah. So, and another question I get a lot is, when you went to school, how did you get on the bus? And I had to ride a wheelchair bus, and it had a special lift, and it got me on the bus, and they had special wheelchair tie downs to tie down my chair. So that's how I got on the bus. And another question is, do you like to swim? And yes, I've been swimming since I was 5. So I love the water. Swimming is the best thing for people that have cerebral palsy and a disability, because it feels good on our muscles and it strengthens our muscles. So I love swimming. I love the water. I love the ocean, all that stuff. So, and another question is, have you gone snow skiing before? And yes, I have. I snow skied at Perfect North. They literally, it's called adaptive skiing, and they literally sit you on a seat on top of these skis, and the ski instructors are behind you, and they're, whatever direction you lean is what way they control the ski. But the ski instructors are behind you the whole time, so they're helping you, supporting you. Would I ever do that again? Absolutely. I love snow skiing, especially at Perfect North. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend you go there. Yes. So, and another question I always get, have you water skied before? Yes, I have. But I probably won't do it again because I didn't really feel comfortable in the water. They didn't really give us much like upper body support in the water, so I kind of struggled with that. But with like snow skiing, they give us like a bunch of like upper body support, so I felt more comfortable with that. So, but with water skiing, I didn't really feel like really secure, so I probably won't do that again. But I would love to try. One thing I want to try is scuba diving, and the question to that is, have you been scuba diving before? And the answer is no. But I would love to try, but I have to be careful because I have this thing in my head called a shunt, and it's when you're born, you have something called soft spots on your head, and my soft spots didn't form very correctly, and so they had to put a shunt in to help my head from getting bigger. But I talked to my doctor about scuba diving, and he said when you scuba dive, you just have to be like careful. So I'm like, I want to do it, but I'm like kind of scared to do it. I want to get some more information about it. I think when in the summer we start scuba diving training in a pool down at IUPUI, so that's good. But as far as like trips go, I would probably not go too far down in the water. But the organization that I want to go with specializes with people that have shunts, so that's awesome. So I want to try scuba diving, but I'm kind of scared. Another question is, how long have you had cerebral palsy? And I've had cerebral palsy ever since I was born. And it's not a disease, it's a condition that I will live with for the rest of my life. I will die with it. It doesn't get worse. Yeah. So, and, another question is, that I get from kids all the time. Why don't your legs work like mine do? And I always have to explain to them, when I was little, I just got really, really sick, and I had a stroke, and I had an injury in my brain, so that's why my legs don't work like yours. And then another question is, how tall are you? And I just say that I'm like short, because I don't really know, because I'm like sitting down all day, but but yeah. And another question, I'm trying to think, how do you get upstairs in your house? And I always explain to them, I'm like, the cool part about my house is I have an elevator in my house, and it helps me get up and down stairs, but it's not one of those fancy elevators at the mall. It's just a box. It's really boring, so it's nothing fancy, but the kids always get a kick out of that question. They think it's like amazing. So, and another question I get asked a lot from kids is, how do you get into a pool? And nowadays it's so cool, they have like a wheelchair that helps people with disabilities in and out of the water. It's like a elevator chair that like lifts them in and out of the water, and that's how they get into the pool. But when I swim, I have to wear like some type of a floating device, or like floaties, because I have a hard time getting my head out of the water by myself. So I always have to have somebody in the water with me because my upper body isn't that like strong. But I love to swim, so yeah. And let's see. Um, ha, and another question I get from kids all the time is, how do you travel? And sometimes the answer to that is, sometimes I go on an airplane. And how do I go on an airplane? I usually take my manual chair, my push chair, and they put it on the plane, and then sometimes they put my power chair under the plane. So that's how I travel in an airplane. But in my van, I have a neat seat belt, and I have really nifty wheelchair tie downs that I support my chair with. So that's how I travel in my van, like if we go on a long trip or something. But what's cool about my chair is if I get really tired, like let's say in the car or something, and we're going on a long trip, I can tilt back my chair and like take a nap or whatever. Because sometimes it's tiring just like sitting in my chair all the time. So that's how I take a nap on a long trip. I just tilt my chair back, or sometimes if it's a longer trip, depending on how many people are in the car, I can like get out of my chair, but like I'm getting older now, so that's kind of hard, so I just like tilt back my chair and like chill and relax and whatnot. But another question is, where have you traveled to? And I've traveled to Arizona, I've traveled to Florida a couple times, I've traveled to Colorado, I've traveled to Chicago. I think I already said that. But yeah, I've been to Florida several times. I would love to go back. I love Florida. It's like my happy place. So that is a question I get a lot, asked a lot from kids. And another question is, why do your fingers look different than mine? And the answer to that is, when I was a freshman in high school, I had surgery on my wrist to make it straighter and like stretch it out, and they kind of opened my hand up a little bit. So that's why my fingers are like that. But I'm okay. Nothing's wrong with me. My fingers just look a little different, but it's okay. So, and another question is, how many? And this question probably comes from like older kids, like in the elementary age. How many surgeries have you had in your lifetime? And my answer to kids is I've had too many to count, but I've had a lot of surgeries, guys. It wasn't fun, but it worked out in the end, but I'm all good now. So that's the answer to that, and yeah, I think that's about it. And if you guys have any questions about anything else, I will do another video, another vlog soon. So let me know if you have any questions, positive comments only, and check out my video. And like I said, I promise I'll do another vlog if kids have any questions, or matter of fact, if adults have questions about CP, let me know. I will do another Q&A video on cerebral palsy. So have a good day, guys. Bye.